Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for coming in. You know what? So all my regulars, I'm actually nervous tonight. I'm nervous, and it's not really because of Chris, but it is. It's the first time in forever that I've been actually nervous on one of these interviews, and I don't know what to say. Chris is a super nice guy. We were chatting. There's nothing there to make me nervous, but I'm super nervous. So, hey, everybody. Hi,
I'm
Chris.
nervous too. Hi, everyone. I'm nervous.
Um,
We're both nervous.
I want to just give my normal spiel for people. So here's what we do. Chris and I are going to have a conversation. We're not going to be looking at the chat at all. It's just going to be us talking. The second half of the chat, we will open it up for questions from the chat. The second half of our conversation, we will open it up to questions for the chat. So if you've got something to ask Chris, that's the time to hold them for. I apologize. We don't go through and say hi to everybody, but hi, everybody. Also, we try to keep it off of the fish topic, right? It's not so much about the fish hobby, but it's more about Chris as a person, all of his different hobbies and what makes him who he is, And it's pretty cool because he's, we're sort of opposites in some ways. Chris is into minimalism. I mean, I've seen that in a lot of the videos. He talks about that and stuff. He's very clean cut. He's a young, fresh-faced kid, and I'm a grizzled, old, grumpy guy who does not do minimalism at all. So we're sort of polar opposites in some way. So this should be a lot of fun. All right. So that's my spiel. Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. All right, so let's start out. Where do you live at now? Where are you at?
I'm in Canada, up north. Beautiful British Columbia on the west coast.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
Pretty close to where Aquarium Co-op is located down in.
Cool.
Is it Seattle or Oregon? I don't know.
Washington somewhere. I think it's close to Seattle. I mean, people.
I actually went there, and I can't remember where it is.
Gotcha. How long is it away from you? How far away?
I would say it's like an hour and a half drive there, maybe 2 hours, maybe
cool,
less.
Yeah. Not that bad at all.
Yeah.
If I lived in British Columbia, though, I don't know that I would ever go anywhere else because it's just an amazingly beautiful area. We do have some people in the fish fam that live in that area, but you're very lucky.
Yeah. I take it for granted. I don't want to take it for granted, but sometimes you can't help it, when you live there.
Yeah. See the stuff every day. It doesn't seem different. It's not, you don't realize what you've got.
Yeah. Until I reflect a little more. It's more intentional that way, though.
And have you lived in that area your whole life, or have you moved around any, or you always lived in that area?
Yeah, this general area, I've lived here pretty much my whole life, but I am an immigrant. I came from China.
Oh, okay.
But I came from China like since I was 7. I got here, so it was pretty early on.
Gotcha.
Most of my memories are growing up in Canada.
Okay.
And yeah,
I was going to ask that actually. Do you remember much about China at all, really?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of memories about China, and I've been back since maybe 2 or 3 times with my family and everything. Awesome. But yeah, most of my growing up was done here in English.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in British Columbia. But we did move around a lot, so like I didn't really have much of a really established friend group to call my own, like compared to kids who only grew up in one elementary school. Yep. I would have moved around 3 or 4 times in elementary school alone. So yeah, for better or for worse.
There's something we have in common because I did the same thing. We moved a lot. My dad liked to move, so I went to 13 schools just through high school. So we moved a lot, all over the United States, though. But I understand it's hard to make friends when you're always the new kid.
Exactly.
Do you think that sort of helped you, though, in any way? Like I feel like it helped me talk to people. I can walk up to people that I don't know and talk to them very easily. Do you feel like that it helped you in that way or in any way?
Yeah, kind of in that way. I'm more I think I make myself more easier to get along with because of probably moving around at such an early age. I have to make room for all the new kids who already have, like, I'm just trying to belong in some sort of circle. So it doesn't really do well for me to be too confrontational about it or like speak my mind and my own opinions all that much. So I kind of, become a chameleon in a way to fit in.
Gotcha. Yep. I understand that. I understand that. What about relationships longer term too? Do you think it has affected that as well? Like I know that I don't have a problem leaving friends because I've done it so often. So I make very shallow friendships. Do you think that was something as well, or?
I think for me it was a little bit more opposite of that in terms of just in a way where I want to be more intentional in deepening friends and our friendships. And
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you probably pick, one or two people and really get very close to those people.
Yeah, I'm not really too social of a guy, and I my favorite metaphor for this is like I'm kind of like a frog in that way. Like if you put a frog in water and you start boiling the water, the frog will never know to jump out, until it's too late and it's dead, right? And what COVID has showed me recently is that I could just sit in my room until I die if nobody contacts me or like invites me out. But thankfully, things have been starting to loosen up a little, and people have been hanging out more and calling me out more to play some volleyball and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Well, no, I don't want to get into that. I was going to ask you how things are with the pandemic there, but I don't want to go that route because that's it shouldn't be, but it's too controversial.
It is, yeah.
I love it. So you've lived there your whole life. Are you going to school now? Did you go to college, or are you interested in, or where are you at now as far as education goes? Well, you said I forgot. I'm sorry. How old did you say you were?
26.
26. Okay. Gotcha. So you did did you go to college or?
Yeah. So there might be a little bit of lag right now. So that's,
I think I had some too. I think it's on my side because something did happen there. Hopefully it's catching up. Does it seem like it's getting better?
Yeah. I think it's normalizing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
anyways, graduated high school and went straight into uni. Didn't take any sort of, break, like millennial or Gen Z sort of break there. And, my parents, traditionally Chinese, try to keep me in one of the traditional like bubbles, like either become a doctor or medical student or do accountant and all that. I went the accountant route, got into BD School of Business. For locals who know SFU, you probably heard of that. And I didn't do too well. Surprise, surprise. I'm just not into it. Even though I was able to get in, I just never found any success beyond like, and also first year always hits you the hardest.
Sure.
I was going through like a stupid relationship sort of thing at the same time as well. So that made it real hard. But then I was looking around more and my dad was helping me, and, I'm really interested. I've been interested my whole life to work with animals to a certain degree, to work with nature. And he found this program at BCIT, which is a British Columbia Institute of Technology. It's more of a college than a university, so it's more like hands-on stuff. And there was this program called ecological restoration. So I enrolled in that. So I transferred from SFU, my university, to BCIT. And I got a diploma of natural resource management, and then went on to get my Bachelor of Science.
Very nice. Yeah. And are you using that today? Are you in the field that you went to school for today?
Yeah, I was in the field for quite some time. I worked many different sort of jobs in that field, and I recently just ended my employment with this really cool company that I would just leave the name out, but very amazing, super cool company that does a lot of good for the environment. But yeah, I have since February made YouTube my full-time job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you definitely could. You're first of all, you're damn good at it, and you just have a natural way about you. And I told Chris this earlier, you guys, you really. What's the name of the video we were talking about? For you were actually reviewing another person's channel, a Japanese guy, right?
Yeah, Jen's Kitchen.
Jen's Kitchen.
Yeah.
The way Chris describes the whole thing and just how he puts together the review of the channel and his commentary over the channel is so, it's like heartwarming. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but I myself had a crush on Chris after watching this, and he's talking about having a crush on the guy in the video. So it's funny, but it's just amazing. It's not even fish related. The guy's putting together. What is he putting together? I forgot now.
He was putting together a fish tank, but it was also like a hydroponics thing that he was growing some like vegetables out of.
Yeah.
And he's like an aesthetic, like cooking channel, especially with his cats. They like to watch him cook. That's the whole aesthetic going on. Yeah, he's really good at all that stuff.
It's amazing too. You both, so definitely you. I'm sure that everybody that watches me is subscribed to you. I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't know you, but you should also go see the other one. There it is right there. I knew we've got some amazing mods. All of them are just so great. They put so much work in, so I really appreciate them. Zen Ginger just threw up the link for that. That might have been the first video of yours I watched. I'm not sure. I think I watched other ones, but that was definitely one of the first. And that was like, yeah, I'm subbing to this guy. This guy's awesome. I just absolutely loved it. So, all right, that's enough fanboying there. Give me an example of what kind of jobs that the eco stuff that you were doing, the environmental reclamation is. Just a couple examples of different things you can do within that field.
Yeah. So basically, my day in and day out, it's like 50% in the office, doing all sorts of different paperwork or planning or report writing and scientific reporting, data analysis. And then the other 50% would be actually being outside, collecting that data, doing restoration work such as removing like invasive species. Like we have a lot of Himalayan blackberry over here. I actually don't really know where are you resided?
I'm in upstate New York. I live right on Lake Ontario. So the whole eastern side of the continent from you.
Nice. Okay. I did not know you were in New York. That's cool. That's really awesome. So things like blackberry we remove, and then we plant and we populate the removed area because we don't want to keep the soil bare because then the invasive species will come back in again. We use some native plants that grow really well in the area, like salmonberry, thimbleberry, all sorts of different native plants to reclaim the area. Yeah,
that is awesome. I wanted to be a forest ranger. That's what I know. And instead I went into IT. I was an IT guy for 25 years. That's what I retired from. But I wanted to be a forest ranger so bad. Ranger Rick. That's what I wanted to, that was me. So, it goes hand in hand with that, what you're talking about. Nature was always something that that was important to me. Kayaking, like I said, we live right on Lake Ontario, so I love to kayak. My kayak sits right by the water. I can't go too much these days, but hiking, we have hiking trails all around us. It's not as beautiful as there. It really isn't, but it's still pretty darn nice. I love living right on the water. Are you close to the ocean where you're at, or how far?
Yeah, I'm pretty close to the Pacific, or at least some inlets that lead to the Pacific, or the Pacific goes into. Yeah. There's like my favorite trail, and I've shown it on my Instagram a lot and on the channel a lot. And people are probably starting to realize it's that one same trail that I always go to. It leads right down to the ocean. It's like a 10-minute walk. I love it. I've been going there since I was a kid. Some great memories, some not so great memories, but yeah, one of my favorite spots to this day, just to chill.
I'm jealous. I am so jealous. Someday I'll get out there. I've never been to, I've been to California, and that's as far north as I've been on the West Coast. So I definitely someday I'm going to get up into that area. I've seen so many, you know, there was another YouTube channel I watched. I don't remember what it's called, but they lived in that area. They lived on an island, I think, close to that area. And I mean, you know, it's you're farther north than I am, but your temperatures, because of the way the water flows in the ocean, keeps you so much warmer.
Definitely.
So your temperatures and stuff, I mean, you guys don't get a lot of snow, right?
It really depends on the year. It fluctuates a lot. And also the temperature. This year we had a massive heat wave. It actually compounded with the effects of COVID, and a lot of our senior citizens actually passed away because of it. Oh. We had a lot of mortality. Yeah, it was such an unfortunate thing. But it does get pretty hot like that, but you know, not consistently. So a lot of places don't have the proper AC prepared for that.
Yeah.
But in terms of snow, we also get quite a bunch of snow, but also rare. Like if it does snow, it's going down. But there are years that are like, are we having a white Christmas? Maybe not. I think that was last year. Maybe we had one snow day last year.
Nice. Yeah. You know what? It just hit me. Oh, I just heard an echo a little bit too. Oh, that's weird. Just came in. I don't see Rapashi.
Oh yeah, she's over there. She's sleeping.
I love watching her too, and I like your interaction with her and the little stuff you do. That is so cool. So you obviously like aquascaping and stuff like that. You like nature and things. Do you have any other like major hobbies that you do? You know, video games or, you know, anything like that?
I mean, I don't know if it's like still pertinent in my everyday life nowadays, but how I got into this like YouTube space. I mean, my first YouTube channel was a throwaway, like just post whatever crap I wanted to, have fun with it in 2007.
Wow.
I still have that. And if you check the about section, it says 2007. So that's, I don't know if you know like Ryan Higa and like, those guys back then. But that was like their time to shine. They're still around, but they're not, they're still quite big. But
what type of content is it? What is it?
They were like these jokey channels that were really, they didn't have much of a budget, but so many people tuned in because they were funny.
Gotcha.
And they were just like lifestyle sort of channels. I think one of his most famous videos was called How to Be Ninja. And it's just a classic. Oh. It's the most classic video.
How to Be Ninja?
Yeah, How to Be Ninja.
I believe that we talked about that. Who was that? Yeah. Oh. Anyways, I think that sounds familiar. I think I've heard that before. If it's what I'm thinking of, it was hilarious. I wish I could remember who that was that brought that up. And that was 2007.
Yeah, I don't know if they posted that in 2007, but like I definitely just saw their channel and a lot of other channels back then, and I was like, man, this is awesome. I want to do stuff like this. But I also had like this crazy interest in animation. And I tried it out for a while, and I made animations on my channel from 2007. And, you know, I was in the whole animation community and everything. And it was really good times. And that kind of like, that was the backbone of how I know how to edit certain videos and put certain effects the way I want to, because compared to what I was interested in and doing back then, which was animation, a 30-second little clip would take me 12 hours to make. Wow. That is nothing compared to, or what I'm doing now, these little edits are actually nothing compared to what I was doing back then. Yeah. So because of that, I'm a bit more efficient with how I produce my videos and that stuff. So I'm thankful that I was very interested in that back then.
Got you. And you definitely have a is it aesthetic? I'm not sure what the word is I'm looking for, but you definitely have a a style that's very pleasing to the eye, and it is minimalistic. It definitely is. But you can see your skill in editing and stuff. We've got a few people in the Fish fam too. Other people, Stephen P is one of the guys. He does amazing editing and stuff. I don't ever edit anything. And I was an IT guy, so I know how to do that kind of stuff. But I don't want to do it. So I'll make a video like an unboxing or something of different fish equipment or something about my fish, and I pick up my phone and I start filming. I don't know what I'm going to say. I have no plan. I have nothing. I just start filming. 10 minutes later, I'm uploading to YouTube. That's it. I definitely I'm very I don't know, low tech, lo-fi. Yeah. I'm very
go with the vibes
down here, but it works for me. I'm happy with it. For me personally, it's more about the community that we have, because I do see a lot of new faces in the chat, and I'm assuming they're coming over from you, which is very cool. And Chris did share it out on his community tab for me. That was very cool of him. Didn't expect it, and definitely not needed by any means, but I do appreciate that. So I see a lot of new people in the chat, and I totally lost my train of thought.
Welcome, new people. Stay for more Rico Stan.
We do this every Tuesday night. We do these interviews, and a lot of times, that's what I was going to say. The Fish fam, I'm seeing a lot of new names, and we have a great community. There's like 1,000 people, and it's a very tight community. It's a very supportive community. If you're looking for some social interaction, it's there. If you're looking for entertainment, we've got guys making these incredible music videos. There's so much education out there. I mean, it's just amazing. It's a great community, and I do these interview things, and I'm not looking for just people like Chris, he's got a huge channel in my mind. But I'm also interview people. I mean, one of our people that I interviewed not that long ago had like 100 subs. It doesn't matter to me on the size. It's more about your personality and your some of the people don't even make videos, and I want to interview them too because of their personality in the streams. All right. Anyways, sorry, didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but I just saw so many new people in, so I wanted to touch base with all those people as well.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about hobbies. So you weren't much of a gamer or anything like that. I just, I automatically assume that people your age, because my kids are your age, right? And myself, I'm a gamer too. I mean, I'm in my 60s and I'm wearing a Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
with tacos on it. So and I'm in my 60s. So
I can't say I'm not a gamer. I can't say I am, because I'm not. I mean, I play games to enjoy myself. At least these days. I definitely was more of a gamer. I had what's known as a gamer stomach, where you don't eat anything the whole day because you're too busy grinding away, and then you're too hungry at night and you pop something in, maybe like a Pop-Tart at 10 p.m., that sort of thing. But those days are over. Like, I can't get myself to care enough anymore.
It's not important. The games aren't important to you anymore.
Yeah, it's additionally has that effect on me, because the kind of games I was playing were like MMORPGs, like massive multiplayer online role-playing games, like MapleStory or like
I didn't play that one. I did
World of Warcraft and RuneScape and all that stuff. Although I didn't get into as much of those two that I mentioned at the more of like MapleStory, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and those were like, you grind your own character to a higher level to do more damage, so you can grind them to a higher.
Yep.
And one day, I got to the level I wanted this whole time, and then I literally the next second, I sat back and I'm like, okay,
now what?
Now, yeah, exactly. Now what? Those two words. Now what? Yeah. And then I just quit. It was just like, that's it. These games are not for me. I just realized. It just made me realize, because it doesn't matter. There's nothing to it that matters. So nowadays, I like to play games that I interact with my friends. So I play it so that, we bond over it and we have fun with it. And there's no levels. I don't get to keep anything later except for maybe the skills I develop while playing them. So like a good example would be Smash Ultimate on the Switch. That's like, you pick a character and then you start trying to kill each other. And what else? Valorant, although, just very casual. Valorant's like a shooting game, FPS.
I haven't played that one. Yeah, I mean, you said RPGs and stuff. That's what, where I live too is the RPGs. And I do play like Stardew Valley and, stuff like that. I'm actually playing Dragon Quest Builders 2 on the Xbox. And it's like a mix between Minecraft and Stardew Valley, but it's got a story to it. But there's a lot of building and stuff. And I enjoy that kind of stuff because I can't play. I've never been good at first person shooters, but even as I've gotten older, my hands are a little messed up and, I can't play those at all. No Twitch games. I need things that I can take my time and, get into. But that's great that you realize, though, that, because, well, my oldest son did play WoW like crazy. In fact, he might even be in here tonight. I haven't looked at chat too much, but
hello.
If you're there,
no judgment from me, bro.
We're talking about
what you got to do.
But he played it just like religiously for so long. And, I hate to say it, but there was one called Asheron's Call that came out in 1998. And right, same time as like the original EverQuest. And I played the hell out of that. I mean, that was my thing for years and years. All right. Anyways, so what about other hobbies besides that, though? Is there anything else that really grabs you? Is there anything else that you really just enjoy doing, or really is it YouTube your main thing?
Yeah, I do have quite a bunch of hobbies, but they have their time and place in my life. I really like volleyball because I watched this anime called Haikyuu. I used to like volleyball as well, but after that anime, I mean, it just full blown, like also in my friend circle and like everyone in like 100-kilometer radius around me likes to play volleyball apparently, because sometimes we can't get courts because it's all full.
Wow.
Especially in COVID. So volleyball is great. If you're wondering my position, I usually play setter. Sometimes I'll hit a little bit on the right, but setter most of the time. And of course, anime is one of my most passionate hobbies, if you can call it a hobby, just watching it or reading manga. Grew up with it. Yeah. Grew up watching Naruto.
I've seen that. Naruto. I've watched that a few times.
Oh, yeah.
My wife is big into anime.
That's awesome.
And all my kids, real big into it. My son is, showed me a lot of different ones. And I like it. I'm a comic book geek myself, so it sort of, translates over a little bit.
I see your wallpaper sometimes in the back. They would be like DC or something.
Yeah, because I do a comic book stream on Mondays with my buddy Chattanooga Ed. We're both fish tubers, we're both fish people, but we're both geeks as well. So we talk about comic books and movies and just geek culture. It's a lot of fun. It's just a hangout. It's the two of us, and we have a lot of fun together. He's a great guy. You were doing the fasting thing, the intermittent fasting. How did you fall into that? What made you start thinking about that? Did you feel like you needed a change in your lifestyle or something? Or we're changing gears on you just super quick.
I mean, it is something I say all the time. I just throw it out. Oh, intermittent fasting, by the way. So pardon me. Whoa, getting a little burpy here. Too much coffee, too fast.
Too much intermittent fasting.
Well, I haven't eaten anything all day. Right now, it's 4 p.m. where I am. It's probably 7 p.m. where you are.
Yep, right on the
dot. And just the black coffee, because no calories in black coffee. So I started kind of on a whim. Like, I was already not eating breakfast. Like that was a definite thing, because I wouldn't have time in the morning to make it. And also my stomach, when I woke up, just didn't feel like putting anything in there. I didn't have any appetite. And then sometimes I will skip lunch too. But also at the same time, people talk about Asian metabolism, how like you're never going to get fat no matter what happens, and you guys are so lucky. Maybe
I've never heard that, but that's great.
Oh, okay. Well, some people say that, and maybe I got the short end of the stick or something, but like it, or maybe I hit my peak or something, so my metabolism's not as fast anymore. But there came a point where I'm like, okay, time to do something about certain things with my metabolism and caloric intake.
Yeah.
And I was looking around. I tried so many diets. Like my friends were like, this is becoming a meme, dude. Like you try a different diet every week. My longest lasting diet was broccoli and chicken breast for a week. I almost died that week. I was still in school. I remember clearly to this day how miserable I was.
Yeah.
And then my shortest diet of all time is 1 day and a half. I tried for no oil. I don't know how that got me the most, but like the next day, not even, I was ready to chug some oil. I was like, normally if I don't say it's a diet, I probably wouldn't have had oil anyways. But all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not going to have oil. And a day and a half later, I'm ready to chug oil and eat some garlic bread and dip it in. Yeah, I don't know. Just really inconsistent. But for intermittent fasting is the only and by far the longest diet I've ever succeeded in. I'm going on to 2 years now, and it doesn't even feel like that. Yeah.
Wow. For some reason, I thought it was sort of new, like within like the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I talk about it like it's a new diet I'm trying, but that's because like it just hasn't hit me. I haven't. Yeah, I've always just been eating during my fasting, or like not during my fasting times. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what made you go with that diet? Something you found online, or what sort of motivated you to try that? I mean, obviously you said you already just sort of fell into it because of the not eating breakfast, with which I'm with you. I mean, I usually have a bagel for breakfast. I guess that's a lot of bread, but
what did you have today for breakfast?
Bagel with very thinly sliced smoked salmon on it,
and some spaghetti, right?
Oh no, that's right. Today was spaghetti, and that's Chris's fault. I ate leftover spaghetti today. That's right. Chris posted something early this morning. I think it was it this morning or maybe last night?
Yeah, this morning.
Short, and it was about your favorite noodle, right? And then you said you actually would prefer just to have spaghetti over this ramen type noodle. Yeah, and it just I got hungry right then and there when I was watching it, and I always do with Chris's videos. I always get hungry because he also has Fish for Thought, where he does the fish tank review, which I absolutely love. Every time I'm waiting for it, just how you do it. Fish tank, review. I just love how you cut it off. Fish tank review is awesome, but he talks about how to keep, but people submit some crazy stuff. Though the one you did the other day where the guy made those incredible scapes, and then he's got bettas up here in these tiny little cups. They're like a cup of water, but he knows what he's doing. He makes these incredible scapes, so he's got to have So anyways, he does those review things and stuff on his main channel, and he talks about different fish and stuff, and you can see all this cool stuff in the background there. But then he also has Chris for Thought, and that's the one where you do, just whatever. I mean, there's all different kinds of stuff on there, but there's a lot of food. There's a lot of food on there.
Be careful.
Every time I watch it just looks so good.
Don't watch it at midnight. You're not going to be healthy.
The Willet spring roll, right? Isn't that one of them? And you made sausage a few times from different things. Just, all different kinds of stuff. But yeah, be careful when you watch it.
Yeah.
But yes, I watched the one this morning, and it made me eat the leftover spaghetti from last night because of that. Breakfast. For breakfast. And now I always have my bagel with salmon. That's my normal 7-day week breakfast. Big thing of water and the bagel. So anyways, I got way off on a tangent. Let's see. We talked about the
intermittent fasting and
how you got into it.
Yeah.
So you sort of fell into it naturally because of not eating breakfast and skipping lunch. But did you read something somewhere? Was there something that really motivated you to get into it full hardcore?
Yeah, I definitely did my due diligence and research and trying it out a little bit before I had or dove right into it. And I would suggest if you do want to try something, just because it works for someone, it does not at all mean it's going to work for you, especially when it comes to these dietary changes. So make sure you really like do your research, and I would say consult a professional about this in some level before, potentially messing things up. But the more I read into it, and like Reddit is great too, because it's not just like, usually they're not as biased if you cross-examine a lot of posts like that. You get a lot of good info, make up your mind with. And it just stood out to me because most of the diets, or all the diets I tried before, it restricted what I was able to eat and kind of to a degree how much. I still do count calories a little bit here or there to this day, but yeah. And I found that like when I'm told, or when I limit myself on what I can eat, that starts to fall apart real quick. Because I want to enjoy life, right? I don't want no broccoli and chicken breast. Like white meat can screw off to oblivion. I would never choose to eat chicken breast, just with my own money. Like I give someone my hard-earned cash and they give me chicken breast. Like, no thanks. give me thigh, even a wing. But when I bumped into intermittent fasting, all of a sudden it's like you can eat whatever. Well, be a little bit conservative with it, but it's more constricting or limiting when you can eat instead of what you can eat, and even how much. Don't go super crazy with the caloric like surplus, but you can overeat sometimes, maybe cheat a little bit sometimes. And as long as you're eating within a certain time frame you set for yourself, it's still going to work to a degree. So I thought that was pretty neat. And that's probably the only reason and the only difference that made me still stick to this versus like other things. So, yeah.
I think my son does it too. Again, you guys have a lot in common. You're
Nice.
Close to the same age, so
Okay.
But it's something I was thinking about trying, and partly motivated by you and partly by my son, and because I definitely need to do something. I retired 3 years ago, and I've been very, very lazy, and I definitely need to do something. So, I think maybe I'll do some research and check into it, and hey, maybe it motivated me to try something different.
Nice.
So what do you like to eat the most when you do break your fast? What's the thing that you crave the most on most days?
Oh,
cheeseburgers, man. Chicken sandwiches?
Yeah, I mean, chicken sandwich, cheeseburger, fried chicken, all the junkiest bad stuff. Like curry on rice is one of my weakest points. Of course, instant noodles of all kinds. Like I'll think of it as like a pre-snack if I cook up an instant noodle like mee goreng, because they're small anyway. So I'm like, I'm not actually eating this. This is just going in real quick, and then I'll eat my real whatever I'm about to eat. Right?
It's an appetizer.
Yeah, yeah, but all the bad junk foods.
Gotcha. Well, we've actually gone for 38 minutes already. So, and you're still good. You got time?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So, let's open it up to the chat. Again, I appreciate everybody coming in. There's 60 people watching. That's pretty good. We, I don't know what I was going to say, but everybody, again, thanks so much to people that aren't used to coming in. This is by design. We don't look at the chat. The whole first part, we just, as Chris and I just having a conversation. But now, if you've got questions for Chris, ask away. Let's see what people are saying. RB Animals would like to know.
I don't have an answer for that.
Sorry. I thought I had her muted. She doesn't have an answer for that. She thought I was asking her questions. Ricky from RB Animals would like to know, what's your favorite movie or TV show?
Favorite movie or TV show? I mean, that's a hugely loaded question. I hope there's nobody out there who got this question and immediately was like this, because that guy would be a psychopath. Let's be honest.
I think somebody did. I don't remember who it was, but somebody did very quickly go, just very quickly had an answer. But most people do have to think about it. I don't remember who it was.
I can't for the life of me tell you my favorite movie because there's so many different ones. But like if you were to say like the first one that pops into your mind when you get that question asked, I would have to say Inception. But I don't know how true that is. I just thought Inception was a really good movie. It was very well made as well, and it had like all these famous actors that were like, really famous, really big. But it's definitely true to a degree. Inception, I feel like, is a good movie.
It's at least one that you really enjoy.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. It's totally in my genre, but it's right in my wheelhouse. That's perfect for me, and I just never watched it.
No, that's great. You're in for a treat. It's always the best when you enjoy something for the first time, and I'm jealous that you get to enjoy for the first time.
Yeah, but sometimes people hype stuff up too much, and it ruins it for you.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction, way back in the day when my roommates went and saw it, and they came home and they were like, "Oh, you got to see this movie. It's the best movie ever," and just kept hyping it up. And like the next week, I went and saw it, and I was like, it was pretty good. And now I love it, but for the longest time I was like, it wasn't that great, guys. I mean, it was a good movie, but come on. All right. What about if you had to pick a genre? Would it be anime? Would that be your favorite entertainment?
Anime, yes, but like if it wasn't anime, I would say definitely sci-fi.
Gotcha.
A few different genres in sci-fi, like the futuristic stuff I love, even if it's like a stupid, dumb, like 2 out of 10 sort of movie, like barely put together. I'm like, cool. But even better if it's like a 8 out of 10 or even like 6 out of 10 rated. And space sci-fi is awesome too. Like The Expanse as a TV show. That was amazing. I can't wait for the next season. Super awesome. Yeah.
Although I am behind a season on that, so no spoilers. I am behind the season.
Oh yeah. Not going into it.
I like the dystopian stuff the most. I don't know why, but I love seeing like the old Planet of the Apes movie. Charlton Heston sees the Statue of Liberty half buried in the sand and realizes where he's at, and I just I love that. I love how did we get there?
Right.
And especially the mythology that's created as time goes on. So like. Somebody's going to find this in the future, and is it going to spark a religion? What is this? What is this? What do they use this for? You know what I mean?
What is that though?
It's a snail catcher.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a little because I have pond snails. In a lot of my tanks I have pea puffers, so I use this to catch the snails and then take them over to the pea puffer tank.
Nice.
There's other ways to do it. There's snail traps and stuff, but this thing's pretty cool. It's It's cheap.
Wow.
And it does a good job. I use it all the time. I use it every day.
Thought it was
like sit in my ear.
Yeah.
Like a back scratcher or something.
Yeah.
Oh, do I look like I use a shaver?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what are you doing with that?
Maybe right here. Maybe it's just just right there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We answered that. What animation software did you use back in the day? Did you have one that you liked the most?
It's the one I still use to this day. Sony Vegas Pro. Well, Pro 14 now. I used to use 12, but I think they're also not Sony anymore. It's just Vegas Pro. Yeah.
Okay. Steven was the one who asked that, and Steven has a lot of skills when it comes to he's created some songs that are just amazing too. He's really talented, and he has a small channel, but it's not going to stay that way. He's definitely going to go up. Let's see. Do you prefer hard court or beach volleyball?
Oh, hard floor all the way, man.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize beach volleyball as volleyball. Sorry. I can't believe I actually said that, but yeah, that's how I feel.
Now, I've played volleyball when I was a kid, but I haven't played in probably 50 years. What makes it that much different? I mean, obviously I know it's totally different substrates, so to speak, but what makes it so much different?
Oh man. Almost everything. Like usually beach volleyball is like two on two, right? And let me backtrack a little bit. Don't get me wrong. Beach volleyball is awesome. It's just, I don't enjoy playing it because it's so hard. Like I don't say in the bad way. Beach volleyball is still pretty awesome. And if you do go into beach volleyball and you come back to hard floor 6-on-6, you're going to be the best player on that court, because 2-on-2, it's like hardcore, like 100%, like 11 out of 10 effort. And then when you got 6 people on the same team, you know, it's much more chill that way. But also, like, it's harder to jump on sand. Hard floor, depending on the gym and the shoes you're wearing, you actually get help with the bounce and elevation. And again, if you play beach, then, you know, you're jumping in such horrid conditions. Coming back to hard floor, you're gonna fly, you know. And of course the team comp.
There's so much to it that I wouldn't even think of. So that was a great question, Geek Boy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Richard McCarthy, he lives in, I believe he's in British Columbia as well. Oh, I'm sorry, it just jumped on me, and probably jumped big time. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Are there any native plants or fish from BC that you could keep in an aquarium? And I'm not sure if Richard's from BC. I know he's in Canada, but I can't remember where in Canada.
There's definitely a lot of moss you could keep. I don't know if it could transition successfully into aquariums, but definitely terrestrial. If you just keep it in a terrarium or, you know, some sort of immersed growth. I'm not going to say any fish because most of the time it's not very legal. So I don't want to be pushing that. There are some interesting fish.
Gotcha.
In the area.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the legality's weird, and for anybody who collects in any place, you got to check into your local laws and see. Because I did that as well. I actually have some bluegills that are on this tank right here, just a little 29 gallon, and they're tiny right now. I just collected them not that long ago, and I'm okay to collect them, but I can't ever take them back. So, which makes sense, you know, it makes sense. Zen Ginger, awesome mod. Great person. What is Chris's favorite type of rock, wood, and plants to scape with?
Rock, wood, and plants. Rock, I got Oko and Seru Stone lined up over there, but those are two of my favorites. Going for more Seru recently, and might be venturing into Elephant Stone. And I know I haven't been giving lava rock the praise and, like, you know, hype that it deserves, because lava rock's pretty, like, versatile, especially if you're going to plant over it, because then you can make all these awesome shapes. Wood, there's really wood for every situation. It's really hard to say, like spiderwood or / manzanita, all great. Certain redwoods, but yeah, I would say from what I use the most, spiderwood and manzanita wood.
Got you.
And what was was there another one?
Plants was the other part. Do you have that one's tough because you like so many different types, right? That's got to be hard.
But like cryptocoreans, anubias, buse, Sterogen repens very recently for me, making a comeback. I used to not like them. And yeah, Crips is, if you're going to take away anything, Crips can get any job done.
Gotcha. And really they're so easy, usually. Yeah. Usually. Do you ever do any collecting of those types of things when you do your hikes and stuff? Do you keep your eyes open for that kind of stuff?
Oh, always. Whenever there's like a pool of water. And if there's no business having a plant in there, I still look, because false hope. Like, this is just a puddle from the rain. Like, what's going to be in there? No, I'm still going to... Maybe there's like a piece of duckweed in there or something. Unfortunately, not many plants that we use in this hobby I get locally, because it does freeze over in the winter. Yeah. There are like introduced species, now gone invasive, like parrot's feather, Elodia, duckweed, of course. I haven't seen salvinia or frogbit or any of those. But
hornwort? Do you guys get hornwort?
Hornwort, yeah. I was surprised. I made this video of me gathering, just scooping some dirt and water into an ecosphere, and I found hornwort, and I made a big deal of it. I'm like, whoa, didn't expect hornwort to be in here. Yeah. My local pond. But yeah, other than that, like those kind of like fast growing stem plants that are super hardy.
Gotcha.
And a few floaters here or there, not much
And
else.
it's so weird because we're so far apart, but yet Alodia, hornwort, those are, we've got those. I can walk right down the hill here and pick some up. In fact, I've put some in the tanks that I have. This guppy tank that's up here, I have a bunch of hornwort in it that came out of the bay.
Nice.
Now, do you do any kind of prep work on those types of things? I mean, are you baking, or well, obviously not plants, but with the wood and stuff? Do you bake or do you dip, or you don't have to go super in depth, but just, I use peroxide on not the Alodia because it kills it, but on the hornwort, I use peroxide.
I have not actually gathered live plants in the wild, even though I see them. It's just, I can't bring myself to sometimes because I don't trust myself in cleansing them enough to put in my fish tanks. I might do it one day, but I have done it for ecospheres, like I said, but I don't do any like washing or whatever. I just do the scoop and close right on the right where I am, and then bring it back to my car, drive it home. But for wood and rocks, I would always say clean it, at least rinse it and brush it with an old toothbrush if you can. For wood, definitely safe to boil. Hardwood only. Definitely don't even touch softwood like cedars, evergreens, any of that. For rocks, be careful when you're boiling. I would say a quick rinse will usually get the job done. But with rocks, you're more worried about like pH and all those kind of hard water, soft water changes with that. So
good stuff. My wife is in here and she says your favorite all-time anime. Did we already touch on that? I can't remember.
I brushed on it a little bit. I mean, I didn't say it was my favorite all time, but it just happened to be my favorite all time. So Naruto and Naruto Shippuden series is my personal favorite all time. That doesn't even mean, weirdly enough, that it's the one I like the most. I understand. There's just so many, and I grew up with Naruto, so I can't not put that as my like just personal all time. Nothing can take that. Gotcha. I got a whole bunch of other anime that I love.
I have a hard time doing that with anything. When people say, "What's your favorite artist?" Music, books. I can't do it. I can't even give you a top 10 because I like so much. Foxy's Fishes, who goes on Thursday nights, and Roxanne, we actually talked about you a little bit earlier. She does a stream with Mary Page Flynn. Sorry. On Thursday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is that right, Roxanne? But she'd like to know is Rapashi going to make an appearance?
Unfortunately, probably not. She is very deep in her slumber right now. I can see her little tail, but that's about it. That's okay. Sorry.
Go back and watch most of his videos because she's in there, definitely. So awesome. And I don't know. I love that part of it too. When you include her in and you ask her questions and the looks when you zoom in on her face and stuff. I don't know, it's great stuff. Let's see. So Dolbeck, which I believe Dolbeck is I think he's a regular on your stuff. I think he knows you.
I think
you know him. How do you cope with getting sent so many bad fish tanks for your series, Fish Tank Review, without getting burnt out? That's a great question.
I actually don't get sent. Well, I do, but not as much as I go out actively looking for it on the Shitty Aquariums subreddit, among other places. And I do get burnt out. I get burnt out a lot, and I have to take weekly breaks, or as long as my posting schedule allows it, and how many videos I have left before I don't have any more, or how many fish tanks or crappy fish tanks I already gathered before I run out. And it's mandatory that I take my breaks as I should with looking at all that stuff.
Some of them are ridiculous. I don't even get it, because especially today. Now back in the day when I was a kid, right, a lot of people did some of that kind of stuff, but we didn't have access to the internet. I mean, there was no internet, right? We're talking late 60s, early 70s. There wasn't the type of information. There, you could go get some books and stuff, but it was mostly word of mouth amongst people, right? Nowadays, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's so much great information out there. And yes, you can get wrong information from, different sources. So you definitely need to do your research. But hopefully Aquafunk isn't watching, because he hates when people say do your research.
Oh no!
It burns his biscuits. That's what he said. He did
Why? I say that all the time.
He did a video about. He said he doesn't want people to say, and he's doing it in a funny way too. He wasn't really upset or anything. But Aquafunk's a great guy. He's a funny guy. He said he doesn't want people to say that, because that's why he's watching their video. He wants to. They are part of his research. So don't tell me to go do my research. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
So, anyways. There's just no excuse today to have those types of things. There just isn't. It's just laziness, pure laziness. Here's a very important question from Dragon Mama. Hey, Chris, will you marry me?
I'm flattered, but I'm taken.
We didn't even touch on relationships and stuff. I don't know if that's something that makes you uncomfortable, but are you in a relationship with anybody? Are you, committed?
Yeah, I'm almost 6 years with my high school sweetheart.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
We broke up, or she broke up with me when I was in grade 10, and yeah, we've been back together for 5 years and counting now. So
very cool, very cool. Let's see. He wants to know if Ryan from Natural Aquariums would like to know if you made the artwork banner for your YouTube channel, the Fish for Thought one.
Oh, no, I did not. Very, very, very talented artist named Averai. Can I spell it out here? And you can...
Yeah. Where are you going to put it?
Can you see this?
Yep, I can. Oh, hold on. Not that. This. There we go. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's how you spell it. I hope that's how you spell it. Yeah. She or... they, I'm not sure their pronoun, but they made that. Just as, I didn't even ask them to make it. They just, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, this was very early on in my YouTube career, and I kept it ever since because it's just so amazing.
It is. It's awesome.
All the details, like the rummy nose, the neons, the angelfish, the Vallisneria, the hornwort, you can see the actual plants.
I mean, that's you. It looks like you to me. I think of you being in the middle there. That's you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it's supposed to be you, right?
Yeah.
I hope it's you. Who the heck else is in your banner? I mean, what's this guy doing in my banner? What's this guy? Maybe that's them. Maybe that's Avaya.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Carl Olzik, and that's a new person. I had not seen that name before. So thanks so much for coming in and hanging out with us. Just wants to say, hey Chris, just want to say you got me through some tough times, but you inspired me and people like A Fish Shell with your ecosphere. By the way, I showed my dad. You suck at beta tank. Just saying, you're my favorite YouTuber.
Thank you so much, dude. That is very encouraging, and I really appreciate it. That's awesome.
Let's see. Wow, we're way back. I'm very far back, and actually we are at the hour mark. Are you good for a little longer, or do you need to get going? I don't want to take up your whole night.
It's just like my laptop is saying I don't have that much battery left, and my charger is upstairs, intertwined with a lot of different wires.
No worries. Let me just see if I can scan down real quick, and we'll see if there was any more important questions, and then we'll cut it off. Let's see. That wasn't a question; it was a comment, and we don't need to even go there.
Oh boy!
Hey Chris, can I run this stocking list by you for my 3.5 gallon? So he's got. He or she has 3 goldfish, 5 to 10 long-tailed guppies. Oh, never mind. 3 arowanas, 10 sea cumbers, 20 angel. I mean, it just gets. I should have right after 3 goldfish. I should have stopped. 3.5 gallon. He's got 10 sea cucumbers, 5 bamboo puffers, 100 neon tetras.
How many? What was the dimension on that? Is it like one of those classic
3.5? Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see.
So we've got a total of 3. We're not even sure about numbers on some of it. So we're looking at 13, 16, 26, 46, 150, roughly 160 different thanes in that tank, including some that are saltwater and some that are freshwater.
Yeah, the sea cucumbers kind of threw me off. I did not expect that. Does he have a pleco in that list? Because you need to keep the tank clean somehow.
You know what? I totally fell for it too. You know, that was from Rogue Elite CS. In case that's somebody that you know. All right, let's hurry up here. Let's scroll down. Let's see. And if people would, if they've got questions for Chris, hit me up with the @RicoStan so I can. Fishymon says, no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
You're protecting me. Thank you. I can't see these questions, so
you need protection from some of these people. Let me tell you. Oh, it jumped on me again. Carlo, same person who talked to you before, he says, if you could travel, would you come to New Zealand? Because we've got some good types, but no shrimp. New Zealand, I would love to go. Yeah,
likewise. My girlfriend's like a danger sports junkie, apparently. What the heck, right? I'm a bit more safe with my, chasing thrills, but yeah, New Zealand definitely on the bucket list to go if I ever am fortunate enough to make the visit. Yeah. Kiwis. Okay. Cool.
Very beautiful place. Just okay. You know what? Still we go. Here we go. What is your opinion on heavily stocked but not inhumane tanks? And this is coming from somebody who he's pretty knowledgeable. Steven knows his stuff. He's really got into water biology and things. He really, he's a chemist when it comes to his water. He likes to dig in. What do you feel about that? What's your opinion on heavily stocked but not inhumane tanks?
Yeah, I think there's, especially for my channel, for people who are just dipping in to watch for a first time or second time, they'll get the gist, like, oh, this dude is, he's very black and white about things. Like, if it's not understocked, it's unhealthy, or, a certain amount of fish in too small of a tank and it's game over or something. And really, if whoever's watching takes more time to watch, the videos on my channel, they'll get more of a sense that it's way more open than what it seems like face value. And one thing really affected me on this sort of thinking is when I did visit certain fish rooms locally around me, and there were some times where these people were keeping a lot of fish in kind of smaller tanks that I wouldn't ever suggest to people, but they were fully decked out with plants. They weren't necessarily the most beautiful aquascape, but they were super wild. In one of the most extreme tanks, I think he had it was a 10-gallon, and it was, I would say, pretty overstocked with live bearers and such, including swordtails. And it was just pumped full of Elodia or Anacharis, whichever one you want to say. And it was, they were green, healthy, very obviously producing a lot of oxygen, doing a lot of the filtering. And he's got air pumps, and he's got 2 filters running on that thing. And the fish looked as healthy as you could ever find. They were just supreme specimens of it. They were fed very well. The tank looked pristine. And if I was going to complain about something like that, I'm not sure I would, stand too strong on making a point against it.
Gotcha.
So all of this is to say, I think there's a lot of ways to do things in this hobby.
Sure.
And a lot of people can do it right. And very differently as well. It's
all about the maintaining. We have somebody in the fish fam. His name is Eric Furlow, and he's got a bunch of cichlids in tanks, and they look incredibly overstocked. They're beautiful, but he maintains those tanks perfectly, and he keeps those fish healthy. He doesn't have die-offs. Those fish are incredibly healthy, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
you don't, like you said, you don't want to recommend those to somebody that's just started out, but he knows what he's doing. They're overstocked, but at the same time, he can keep them in a way that, he's doing regular water changes and everything he needs to do to keep them going. Dolbeck said, Rico Stan, please say hi to the PetsCord crew. I know you got to go real quick, probably. PetsCord, you want to just give us a quick rundown? I totally forgot about talking about that. I did see people dropping your links, but tell us about PetsCord.
Yeah, PetsCord is basically just this website I started for like pet owners and like mostly fish keepers, because that's my demographic, but we welcome any pet owner there. And it's kind of like a social media website. Like you have your own account. You can post posts just like on Facebook. There's a wall or a feed. You can directly talk to people or talk to them in a group. You can make groups. I think one of the biggest groups on that website is a shrimp keeper group. There's also an FTR group and a meme group and a lot of beta groups there. Just make friends, share all sorts of different life experiences, have a great time. And I think it brings me a lot of satisfaction that there's people actually enjoying something like that I took some part in making and providing for them. It's a great feeling. It's awesome.
Very cool. And I do have an account on there. I got one, I don't know, a few months ago. It's been a while. I don't use it a lot. I don't use much. This is about the only social media I use. Let's see. Could I put 5 bettas in a 2,000-gallon pond? Just a question. I'm not saying I'm going to do it since it seems risky. Wild bettas in a 2,000-gallon pond. I mean, especially if there's plenty of line of sight breaks. I mean, it's a 2,000-gallon pond. I think even 5 bettas would be fine in there. That would be awesome, though. I'm very jealous that you can have a 2,000-gallon pond. Mine's 60 gallons.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few questions right off the bat for me. Like, is this pond outside? If it is, does it have cover from like a heron or some other predatory birds species? And 2,000 gallons is a lot to take care of for 5 bettas. Sometimes they won't know how to eat by themselves. You got to find them and feed them properly, make sure they're healthy.
Yeah, because I've seen that, like Lisa from KG Tropicals, she's very big into the bettas, and she talks about even sometimes giving it too much space. Like you don't want something that's too tall for them, right? They want something that's a little bit smaller. All right, last question, and then we will let you go since we've already gone over.
No problem.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Who's my favorite superhero?
Yeah, who's your favorite superhero?
Oh man. Superhero, just like DC, Marvel all together. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Geez, that's so hard, man.
It is. I have one, but
what's yours? Let's hear yours first. Give me some time.
Well, mine's Atomic Robo, and most people don't even know who it is because it's an indie comic. He's a robot created by Tesla, the scientist, not Elon Musk. Created by Tesla way back in the day. And he does a lot of it's a lot of humor to it. They use a lot of science. One of his phrases is "We'll solve that with violent science." When he's making some kind of laser gun or something to blow up a monster or whatever, I just absolutely love it. And it's got an incredible timeline because again, he was created by Tesla way back in the day. So he's been through World War I, World War II. He's been he's still around today and he does all kinds of stuff. So did that give you enough time?
Kind of. But yeah, that sounds like a cool dude.
It's great. The comics are great. You can see them online for free too, atomicrobo.com.
They're for free. Nice.
Yeah,
atomicrobo.com. Okay.
Yeah.
atomicrobo.com. Mine is it's very close match with a lot of different ones. But I would have to say Nightcrawler from from
X-Men stuff
X-Men.
Right?
Yeah. It was my first it was when I was first exposed to the sort of teleport ability. And ever since then, like my dream ability, if I were to choose, would be teleport, because I would look so cool, just like teleporting behind people. Nothing personal, kid. Boom. Give him one of those.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's got style. He leaves blue powder behind afterwards. Yeah. But none of the movies just do him justice. Like he could literally take out opponents if he just, wasn't being bogged down to the plot armor. and he, yeah.
I would like to see. That's a good one. That's a good one, and I would love to see a movie just on him. I mean, there's so much they can do still. We've got so much content there in the MCU. We're barely scratching the surface. So a lot of stuff. Hey, Chris, I can't say thank you enough for coming and hanging out with me. I knew this was going to be a lot of fun. Everybody, if you haven't gone over and seen Chris's content, the guy makes just incredible stuff.
Thank you.
It's very calming. I don't think you have a single thing that I watched and went, that would like pump me up or something. And that's a good thing. I'm looking for things. You just have a very calm demeanor in your videos. It gets very ACMR type stuff sometimes. It's just very, very quiet. And I love it. It's absolutely great stuff.
Thank you so much.
And anything you want to say before we take off? You got anything coming up that you want to talk about, or is there any other? I know we got the other website, and we did talk about that. I saw the links were dropped for that a few times.
Just if you don't know me, I just post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my main channel. Monday for the fish tank reviews, Wednesday usually miscellaneous, and Friday #shorts. But other than that, it's been an amazing time with Rico Santa Claus over here. I love that name. That's awesome.
I didn't talk about that. I have that name because I actually am playing Santa Claus for the Fish Fam this Christmas. We've gotten donations from people, so I'm going to go up on all these different live streams as Santa Claus and do giveaways.
That's awesome.
We have roughly 50 people in the Fish Fam who stream pretty regularly, and I've already got $2,000 in donations to go towards those. So
let's go.
It's going to be an amazing time from December 19th to the end of the year. I will be Santa Claus, and I put that name up there just to draw attention to it. It's an amazing thing they're doing. So, all right, everybody, thanks so much for coming. I really do appreciate each and every one of you being here. Go check out Chris's stuff. And next Tuesday is Chris Biggs, the Mad Aquarist. So come hang out with us and learn about Chris Biggs and his